Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Making Strides podcast. AJ Cohen here, Adam Schwartz here. How you doing, Adam?
Doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Cool. Living the dream. At least if I say it enough, it'll happen, right?
Maybe.
Okay. The mind is a powerful thing. Anyway, we have a quicker episode than usual. We are just going to be really productive and just jump straight into just a bunch of random kind of rapid fire questions back and forth about the kind of wrapping up of the year. So in terms of goals, achievements, reflections, and then starting a new year, and around those same kind of topics for the new year. And so I need to share this. I guess I'll start by asking Adam some questions because I have the questions in front of me. I need to send these to him. And we have just we used ChatGPT to just conjure up a bunch of random questions. And so we're going to see how well this works, but we will just kind of go back and forth and ask each other some questions, hopefully, getting you guys to really think and reflect about what these questions and answers mean for you as you apply them to your year that's just finished and this upcoming year when it comes to your goals. Adam, is there anything you wanted to add before I jump straight into it?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, I guess what I would say is that I think it's important to reflect on things. Um, a year is a long time and a lot can happen. And sometimes there's a lot of growth that we don't recognize, or we don't, or maybe we're blinded to because of how the year went, or even more importantly, just how this current season of life is going as the year ends and kind of wraps up. And it gets stressful, it gets crazy, things kind of fall off in terms of training, fueling, whatever it is. And we get kind of caught up in that and forget that the other 11 months of the year were actually pretty decent.
Totally, for sure. Sweet, great thoughts. Let's jump straight into it. It's funny because I just pasted these questions for you, Adam, into Google Docs, and like none of them are formatted anymore. So we'll do our best here.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, we'll just start out real easy. Adam, quick question. These are all basically going to be rapid fire. So quickest answers you can give me, the better. What was the most common injury you treated this year with runners?
Oh man, I'm gonna say, oh, I'm so bad at this kind of stuff. Um, let's go with, I can think of two or three patellar tendinopathies that come to mind. So I'm gonna say that because of its prominence, that's probably there.
Yeah, for me, it's hard to say. I'm just going to guess, but I've seen a couple of nasty plantar fasciitis kind of cases this year, and obviously a bunch of knee pain, Achilles. But yeah, cool. Tell, let's see, I come up with another question for you. Um, Yay or nay on the treadmill during the winter?
Oh, is it okay to say it depends?
Sure.
I would say most days I prefer to be outside when I can. If there's any questionability of conditions, or if it's under 20 degrees and I'm trying to get a hard effort in, then I would prefer the treadmill.
Sweet. Yeah, I feel the same way. Okay, I'll do one more and then you can shoot some to me. You have it open? You getting
Okay.
that open?
Yeah, it's here.
Cool. What was your longest run this past year?
Mm.
I think you posted about it at one point. You were like, "This is my longest run."
Oh, did I? Shoot, I should remember then. I know it's not super impressive because it's pretty much just a rebuilding year after my injury into last fall. I want to say somewhere in the 2 to 2.5 hour range. I don't know, maybe 12-ish miles, give or take, maybe 13, something like that.
Okay, and then your fastest run of the year?
Oh, they were, I did do 1 mile, and like a very disappointing and frustrating. Oh, what was it, 5:42 or something? I haven't run that since like before I started running, like 15 plus years ago.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, you can shoot me a couple of questions.
Yeah. What would you say? This isn't directly from the list. I'm gonna modify it a little bit. What is the most memorable training session you had this year?
Trainings like just run in
Yeah,
general, or are
like
we talking about like
any run,
workouts?
workout, adventure, whatever.
This year is a blur, and I don't even remember what I've done this year. Crap. I'm so bad. Oh man, what was okay, yeah. I mean, like the Never Summer training weekend is always so fun. So I usually do the south part of the course. It's a 2-day week training weekend where you do the south, kind of like 20 miles or so. And then you if you want to stay and do like the north part of the course, the following day you can. I usually don't. But yeah, I mean, it's so beautiful, such an awesome run, and just doing it outside of the context of the race and just with a bunch of friends with a barbecue and stuff after is always super fun. And it's always like that, you know, it's always that weekend where the high country is kind of opening up and the conditions are still shit up there, but you get out there and you get it done anyway. And alpine running just gets better after that, summer wise. So I don't know, probably that one.
Very cool. Yeah. I think I might I have a couple that come to mind, but I think I want to go a little bit different direction.
Okay.
That is as running specific. We did it was like back in I want to say February. We went cross country skiing and did the skate style for the first time. And that was just a really cool experience when we're on Tennessee Pass near Leadville. So anytime you're around Leadville, it's also always special. But just having that new experience, it was really cool, really fun. We went with a couple friends, so
That's cool. What else you got for me?
wasn't prepared for another one. Um, I feel like if anybody follows you, they probably have a decent window into this. But what's your go-to music for a run?
So my go-to listening for a run in general is an audiobook, but if I need to run a race or do speed work, then I basically use my like lifting playlist, or I have like a 5K playlist, but it's mostly metal, not screamo, but whatever is like that level before screamo. Um, okay, so like for example, anybody who knows what like metalcore is like really awesome music besides the screaming. I can't do the screaming, but the riffs and the pace and like the tempo of the music and just man, it just gets me so pumped. And there are, there's a decent handful of songs out there that's like metalcore with clean vocals. Like that's my favorite these days. I've gone through many phases, but um, usually anything in like the metal, up tempo kind of metal, get you pumped kind of genre. How about you?
Definitely. Cool. Yeah. Mine can kind of depend on my mood for the day a little bit. I can do anything from like some sort of rap to a harder rock to like even I mean, I would say what I would summarize it as is anything that has a lot of emotion and energy attached to it that I can kind of tap into and utilize for myself. So even like a score from a movie that's in like a really
Lord of the Rings music?
or yeah, just like stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. I'm not a Lord of the Fans, Lord of the Rings fan, necessarily, but I kind of had that spoiled for me because my first exposure to it was in German class, and like I didn't understand anything that was going on because we watched it in German. So it's like this is the most boring, stupid thing ever. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's a different thing.
Real quick.
But the same
Oh, go.
thing. So anything that's during a critical part of the movie or like a big transition scene, like that
Yeah.
training montage kind of deal, like that'll get me going.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I actually there are a couple of like, yeah, scores that I really dig that I wouldn't mind running to as well. Side note, real quick, I just got my ferritin back.
Oh yeah.
Just now, literally just now, and it's 67.
Oh, killed it.
And I have not been, I know this is not the podcast for that, but we did that just the last
Yeah.
episode. We were talking about iron. I said I hadn't gotten it tested in a long time, and I haven't been training as hard, so maybe that's why it's higher. But also, I've been supplementing like 1/3 of what I usually supplement when I'm like what I've done in the past, and it's stayed up at 67. 70 is like a goal for me. So anyway, just sharing the good news.
Yeah, great follow-up to our last episode.
Cool. Did you want to ask me one more, or should I go back to you?
Sure, I can go. What are you most looking forward to, especially as you got kind of a curveball in your life coming, um, in 2024 in terms of training, running, or if we want to expand that to just in general, since it's probably going to look really different for you.
Yeah, so I think as the years have gone on, and every year, I always like to do some sort of fitness check. So I feel like I year over year have a pretty good idea of where I am. And something I'm really proud of over the last couple of years is a pretty low injury rate. So I want to continue that. But also, I've done a really good job at this cumulative year over year kind of maintenance or increase in my fitness. And, with another baby on the way, I really think that my goal would be to continue that. So, big life change, increased stress, potentially decreased quality of sleep. That we're opening up a kind of biopsychosocial opportunity for injury. So, if I can kind of stave that off while simultaneously preserving my fitness that I've built over the last couple of years, and then hopefully run some sort of key race for the year, maybe towards the end of the summer or the fall, um, and be proud of that result and show up healthy. That's my goal.
Cool, love it.
What's your okay? So back to you real quick. Yeah, like what's your running New Year's resolution for 2024?
It's always injury free is number one. Just so we can maintain consistency. But another top tier is just regaining fitness lost in the last year. My injury and just getting back to where I was previously. There's a lot of push for me to do CIM this year. The California International Marathon. My wife Emma will be going. Two of our friends are going. They're all running it. So I'll do all the training anyway. I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Emily keeps threatening that she's just going to sign me up anyway. And this year they have registration set up a little bit differently. So like your cheapest option, which is not based on when you register, but more of like what you can do with the registration, is that it is non-deferrable, non-transferable. It's like you basically have to do it or you're out the money. So well, she acts on that. She keeps asking how mad I'd be if she signed me up. So I may get roped in that. There's some interest there. It's just I think it's more of where I'm at with the running and my confidence in the ankle and taking that on than anything. Which, a year from now, I'm going to be in a very different place. And so we'll see how the year evolves.
Nice. Cool. And then I'm trying to find another good question here. Okay, how moving into 2024, as concise as you can answer this, what's going to be the main way you try to keep your clients, coaching clients, physical therapy clients motivated to reach their goals through the new year, especially during these first colder months?
Yeah, I think one of the things I do for my coaching clients is that we have a monthly check-in call where we talk through kind of their training, what next steps will be, if they have any aches and pains, any travels coming up, whatever. These last few months, it's kind of fallen off a little bit. So I definitely need to bring that back, make sure I'm checking in with people more than just a text or a comment on their workout. But something a little more formal. We have time set aside to really just discuss what's going on with them. That's number one. Number two, I've been thinking, like, I want, some people are really great at this, others not as much, in terms of reflective engagement from them after workout. So kind of revisiting and encouraging, like, hey, put in your RP, put in, the post workout notes or comments, just kind of how you felt this day, to help me continue to understand kind of where you're at, so I can make better decisions, so we can make more progress. And I'm realizing now this is not concise at all. So I will just leave it at that.
Cool. Okay, shoot me a couple.
Okay. Um, what's this is kind of a fun one. And everyone seems to have a little bit different opinion. What's like the thing you have to have when you go run and say it's 20 degrees windy, or a ton of snow on the ground, whatever, like just pure classic winter conditions?
So I'm the guy who, if it's windy and snowy and I'm out running, I'm wearing ski goggles. So that is something I stand by. It is a game changer. The next time you're in like, terrible winter conditions, go try and run with ski goggles. It will make a world of difference. It's awesome.
That's crazy. I'm not sure I knew you did that. But that makes a lot of sense though. I mean, I've certainly had times where like just the wind, how cold it is, dry, like start to
There's
tear up
something
a
about
bit, and then my eyelashes
relaxing.
will
Yeah.
freeze, and it's like
Well,
it's
relaxing your eyes in general is something that, like, I still to this day do not get how people run without sunglasses and a hat. Like, come on, like you just want to be, you want like crow's feet, like wrinkles on your eyes and like straining and UV and whatever. I don't know, whatever. And then, this is a similar concept where just sometimes me being able to relax my eyes makes a huge difference. And I know that Steve, what's the author's name who wrote oh man, what's the name of that book, that running book?
I'm gonna
Gosh,
need a little
okay,
bit more than
anyway.
that.
There's that journalist who wrote that awesome book about, anyway, I'll have to I don't know why I'm brain farting right now, but anyway, he even talks about how like loosening your jaw when you're running, like loosening or tightening your jaw can make a difference. I think that like straining your eyes versus your eyes being relaxed can make a difference, and it's on that same level. So
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, you could put like sunglasses in that category too, to where, especially in the winter when there's like fresh snow on the ground and it's sunny, it is so bright. Like it's hard to look at anything. Yeah.
Indoor, that's the book, Alex Hutchinson, Indoor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great book.
Definitely.
Okay, well, that's a good question. What book about running would
Yeah.
you reread this new year? Like, because it's so good. And I stand by. I think Hormozy talks a lot about like like this concept of reading new books all the time. That you'll actually get so much more from reading a really good book 5 times than you will reading 5 new books that are mediocre. So like, what's that one
Sure.
book that you would recommend others read, and then you yourself would reread this new year?
Are we going fiction or nonfiction?
Uh, Fiction or nonfiction?
Yeah.
Uh, I guess it doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm gonna go with, and there are some people, it's a little bit culty, and there are some people that don't like it for whatever reason, but I'm gonna go Once a Runner. Like that, I love that book.
Dude, I need to revisit that because I probably like 12 years ago tried to read that book and never got through the whole thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. So maybe just one of the ones that it doesn't vibe with you. I don't know. It is a little different because it's very, it's a college kid, running track and whatever, essentially trying to make it to the Olympics. So it is, if like the trail scene is like your one and only love in
Not
running, like
necessarily.
you may not, and I'm not saying you specifically, but maybe like you just, and especially if you picked it up later in life, maybe it's not something it resonates with you as much. But I don't know. For me, like I love that book. I would
Cool.
reread it all the time.
Okay, ask me one more and then I gotta go.
Okay.
We gotta clean up.
Um, okay, here we go. Do you prefer to run solo in a group, a single other person, or just with Cody, which is for people that don't know his dog?
I really like these days with my schedule and everything, I try to just run by myself with an audiobook. It's the most convenient. It's what's going to keep me consistent. But I really am trying to run with people more often, not just for getting my face out in the community from a business owner's perspective, but also, you know, I lost a close running friend this year, and I just didn't run with him as much as I like. Looking back, I regret not running with him as much as I could have earlier this year. And yeah, I don't know, it just forced me to kind of reflect on the value of my close running friends. And it motivates me to just want to reach out to more friends for a run. Even though I am kind of a solo runner. I just want to take advantage of that a little bit more. Anyway, kind of sappy, weird answer, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's good. And we'll just put a plug into reminder of when you go in the backcountry, just be prepared. Take
yeah,
extra layers, take your GPS, little satellite kind of whatever in
yeah.
reach
No,
you
and
have.
for I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to talk about it, but yeah, I mean, just for people who don't know, I did have a friend who, you may have seen in the news, but he was one of my closest running friends who got lost in Rocky Mountain National Park and was never found. And so, because he did a big run by himself. But yeah, so that's what I was referring to. But yeah, just be safe in the backcountry, and
Always be prepared. Yep,
yeah, for sure. Cool. That's another resolution for the new year. Um,
definitely. Yeah.
cool. Okay, guys, I gotta
Thanks.
jam, and thanks for joining us. And
Yeah.
we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, so
Yeah. Go
go
make some
and
strides.
make some strides. Okay, cool. See you guys.